Effect of population movement on the destination region. Destination region. In migration, we have the source region. The area where you are living is the source or origin. The place where you are going to is the destination region. So we have advantage and disadvantage. One of the factors or one of the effects of population movement at the destination region is pressure on existing social amenities. As you are going there, you will be adding to the pressure on the transport system. You'll be adding to the pressure on health infrastructure. You'll be adding to pressure on the schools. You'll be adding to pressure on the potable water infrastructure. So all these will tell on the social amenities that are available in that destination region. Traffic congestion. Probably you own a vehicle, you go there, you add to the traffic situation in that destination region. Increase in crime rates. Most people, when they go to the destination region, they don't have a means of livelihood. They resort to crime. Environmental pollution, overpopulation, high cost of living due to increased demand. Because of the high population moving to a particular location, the destination region, the cost of accommodation could so high. The cost of products in the market could so high because the demand has increased. So many people are demanding that particular product or services. So the price will go up. Now on the positive side, at the destination region, there will be increase in tax remittances. As you are going to that destination region, of course, you pay tax to the host community or to the host government in that place. So it will add to their tax remittance on the positive side. And also, cultural and technological transfer. You learn new things there, you make new friends there. Another question here in 2024 is, what is birth rate? Outline 3 factors that favor birth rates in tropical Africa. Highlight 3 advantages of overpopulation in tropical Africa. Identify 3 problems created by overpopulation in tropical Africa. Let's take the first one, birth rates. This is the total number of live births recorded per 1,000 of the population per year. It is otherwise known as the natality rate. Total number of live births per 1,000 of the population per year. So birth rates, you have to know the number per 1,000 of the population per year. There are 3 things there. Factors affecting birth rates in Africa. Early marriages. In some African culture, the girl child is given out at a very young age. So biologically, this increases her chances of procreation. She stands a chance of giving birth to so many children. Multiple wife. This is another culture practicable in Africa. So each wife has a chance of having her own child. So all these wives, they will be competing with each other. This one will not want to have lesser children compared to the other wife. So this will increase the birth rates. The higher the number of wives, the higher the number of children you have. Lack of use of contraceptives. Most religious beliefs in Africa are against the use of contraceptive, family planning or birth control. So this adds to increase in birth rates. When you are not using any contraceptive or birth control pill, that means you stand a better chances of having higher number of children. Economic status. In Africa, some cultural practices has it that your status in the community is measured by the number of children or wives you have or you command. So this encourages men in those communities to take as many wives as possible and have as many children as possible. So this increases birth rates. This segment discusses the advantages of overpopulation. Number one, it guarantees availability of labor force. When you have large population, you are sure of large labor force. You can extract from the working population there. It facilitates upgrade of social infrastructure such as schools, hospitals, water supply, etc. to meet the demand. Because you have high population of people in that particular area, the government will be interested in building more schools, upgrading the water supply system, upgrading the electricity system, and other social infrastructure to cater for the need of the high population of people in that area. It boosts local economy by increasing consumer demand and stimulation of business activity. Population means market. So because there is high population, that means there is good market, forces of demand and supply. There is good market in that locality. Number 4, places of high population has a political advantage in terms of voter strength. They have political advantage in terms of voter strength. Because they have high population of voters there, the voting age, you have voting age from age 18 and above in Nigeria. So you can, the politicians will target such area because they have high number of voters that can vote for them in an election. Problems associated with overpopulation. There will be stress on the healthcare facilities. You go to the hospitals, the bed spaces will be filled up because the target bed spaces in such hospitals has been filled up. You go to schools, you see the classrooms overcrowded. You see the streets, the roads congested with traffic. You see the electricity transformers breaking down. You see the water supply system not being able to supply enough water to cater for the needs of the teeming population because there is much pressure on such social infrastructure. The same thing for number 2, which is pressure on educational facilities, where the classrooms should be filled up, increase in crime rates. Places of overpopulation in Africa are difficult for policing, and hence there will be prevalence of crime. Most of the people that move to some urban areas, causing overpopulation in such urban areas, they don't have means of livelihood. They resort to crime. Disease outbreak. It is very easy for contagious disease to spread in overpopulated areas. Poor living conditions. Because the place is overcrowded, you see so many people staying in a particular room, creating poor living conditions. Why? Overpopulation. Draw an outline map of Nigeria. On the map, locate and name 1 international airport, 1 river port, Lafia. Outline 4 problems that affect transportation in Nigeria. In what 3 ways has transportation contributed to the economic development of Nigeria? So this question is on transportation. Transportation is the movement of people, goods and services from one place to other using means such as roads, water, rail, or air transport. So the question is, we should show in the map of Nigeria international airports. Remember, we have two categories of airports in Nigeria. We have the domestic airports and the international airports. International airports are those airports that are designed to cater for international flights, where flights in or outside the country can take off or land. So we have 5 of such airports. We have the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. We have the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. We have the Aminu Kano Airport in Kano State. We have the Akanu Ibiam Airport in Enugu State. And we have the Port Harcourt International Airport. So you draw the map of Nigeria and then pick any one of those locations. That's where you have the international airports. 1, river ports. We have 2 categories of ports in Nigeria. We have the river ports and the sea ports. If we are talking about the river ports, you have the Calabar ports, river ports. We have the One river ports. We have the Warri river ports. But if you are talking about seaports, we have the Port Harcourt seaport. We have the Apapa seaport in Lagos, and you have the Tinkan Island seaport still in Lagos. Lafia. Lafia is a town in Nasarawa State. So these are the 5 international airports. You can pick any one of them. The one in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Rivers State, or Enugu State. Pick any one of them and carefully place it in the sketch map of Nigeria. River ports, like I mentioned, you have the Calabar port in Cross River State, you have the One port in Rivers State, and then you have the Warri port in Delta State, river ports. But it is, if the question requires seaports, the seaports in Nigeria includes Apapa Seaport in Lagos, Tinkan Island Seaport, and the Port Harcourt Seaport in Rivers State. So since the question asks for river port, pick any one from the river ports category. As you draw the map, ensure to title the map. In this case, the title of the map will be Map of Nigeria showing international airports, river ports, and Lafia. Also, as you draw the map, remember you use symbols or notations for the airports, international airports. You also use another symbol for the seaports, and you also use another symbol to note the town. So you have to provide a key where you interpret this symbol, that this particular symbol denotes the location of international airports. This particular symbol denotes the location of river ports. This particular symbol denotes the location of a town, in this case, Lafia. Problems affecting transportation. One of it is poor maintenance of transportation infrastructure. You have bad roads, you have a bad railway system, you have the seaports that requires maintenance, and of course, airports. So when these infrastructure are not maintained, it makes it difficult to use. Now, the number 2, presence of sandbars. This has to do with water transport. When you have sandbars and floating vegetation, it makes it difficult to use the water transport. Lack of capital to expand the railway lines. Pilfering of goods at the seaports. Sometimes the goods at the seaports are tampered with. So this is one of the challenges with transportation. Rigorous process of cargo clearance. The process of clearing the cargo would be very rigorous. It will take some months or sometimes weeks. So this is not very good. There should be a speedy cargo clearance system for efficient transportation. High cost of travel tickets. This especially has to do with air transportation. You see that the cost of air ticket is very expensive. Only the rich people can afford such a air transportation ticket. And then there are some bad conditions for road, causing road crashes. Contributions of transportation to the economic development of Nigeria. Number one, national integration. People can move from one part of the country to the other. Number two, access to natural resources. The industrialists, they use transportation to move from raw materials from where they are sourced to the place of their factories. Development of tourism. There can be no tourism without transportation. Employment opportunity. So many people are working in the transportation industry. Generation of revenues to the government. Linkage between areas of production and consumption. So this favors commercial activities or trade. Physical Geography question 2024. Here we are given a table, and then we are asked to use the table to draw proportionate circles. Proportionate circles. And we've been given a scale here, 1 cm to represent 10 units. And this circle has to do with value of exported commodity by a country in the year 2020. And then another question requires us to calculate the percentage value of gold exported in that year. So let's go to the table. From the table, we've seen cocoa with the value in dollars as 729, diamond 400, gold 900, and crude oil 196 US dollars as given in that table. So we have to use the square root. So we have to convert these figures using square root. So the square root of each of these figures, 929, the square root is 27. Use your normal mathematical skill. Diamond, the figure is 400. The square root of diamond is, the square root of 400 is 20. Gold, with a value of 900, the square root for 900 is 30. Crude oil, with a value of 196, the square root of 196 is 14. So we've successfully calculated the square root of these values. Now recall that we were asked that 1 cm represents 10 units in the proportionate circle. So for each of these calculated square root value, we are going to divide it by 10. So 27 divided by 10 will give us 2.7 cm. So that means our circle for cocoa should be 2.7. Diamond, which is 20. When you divide 20 by 10, you have a circle radius of 2.2 centimeters. That means the circle for diamond should be 2 cm. And then you have gold, 30 divided by 10, you have 3 cm, and crude oil, 14 divided by 10, you have 1.4 cm. Why are we dividing by 10? Because 1 unit, 1 cm, the scale of 1 cm represents 10 units as given in the question. So this is the hint. The circle radius for cocoa should be this, 2.7. For diamond, it should be 2 cm. For gold, it should be 3 cm. And for crude oil, 1.4 cm. The next question for that category was for us to calculate the percentage value of gold exported. Percentage value of gold exported. In doing that, we have to total all the number of exports, each one of them. So 729 plus 400 plus 900 plus 196 gives us a total of 2,225. So that means for us to get the value of gold is 900. We have to carry 900 all over 2,225. 900 all over, that is divided by 2,225. Then whatever you have there, you multiply by 100. This will now give you a value of 40.4%. Take note, 900 being the value of gold, divide by the total volume of exported commodity, which is 2,225. Whatever figure you arrive by there, you multiply by 100. That will give you the final answer of percentage of gold. The next question here, list 3 processes of wind erosion, and with the aid of a diagram, describe the characteristics of and mode of formation of zoochain. This question has to do with wind erosion. And the zoochain we are talking about is a desert landform associated with wind erosion. Process of wind erosion, we have deflation, abrasion, and attrition. Remember, erosion is the degradation or removal of the surface layer of land due to the action of wind, running water, or glacier. In this case, we are considering activity of erosion in desert region through wind. So we have deflation. Deflation is when wind carries loose sand or dry soil particles, not held together tightly, nor protected by vegetation. So when these loose sand are carried by the wind, the process is deflation. Abrasion is the process where the wind carrying the sand hits against each other, causing the particles to further reduce or wear the rock surface. So this is abrasion. And attrition, when these salt particles carried by wind hit against each other and further reduce in size. So this is the zoochain. This is the landform produced as a result of wind erosion. The soft rock has been blown or eaten off by wind erosion, leaving the resistant rock to be standing upright. These parts that you are seeing the furrow were the parts that have soft rock. And that soft rock, being that it was loose, has been blown out by erosion, leaving the resistant part to be standing. So this chain is a table-shaped area of rock found in arid and semi-arid region, formed when more resistant rock is reduced at a slower rate than softer rocks around it under the effect of wind. This is a diagram. The softer rock has been blown by wind erosion, leaving the hard resistant rock to be standing. I've explained the characteristics and mode of formation, which is by abrasion. The zoochain is formed as a result of abrasion. Zoochain are formed in areas of the desert which have surface layer of soft and hard rock alternating each other. Therefore, the wind abrasion can produce zertium. Fissures or cracks opened by the very high temperature on the desert surface must have occurred. For this to take place, there will be fissures or cracks in the land mass, and then wind will now blow on that land mass, that cracks, expanding it further, causing the furrows to be widened or the fissures to be widened. So wind abrasion then attacks the desert surface through the fissures already existing. The fissures are then widened to become furrows, while the rocks between the fissures becomes ridges called zigzags. All right, this is another question. This question has to do with rocks. And the question is, what is an igneous rock? State 3 characteristics of igneous rocks, and then explain 5 economic importance of igneous rock. Igneous rock, these are rocks formed as a result of extrusion, cooling, and solidification of molten magma. Extrusion, cooling, and solidification of molten magma. What are the characteristics of igneous rock? They are hard and resistant. Number 2, they do not contain fossils. They do not occur in layers. They are non-stratified. They are not like sedimentary rock that occur in layers. No, this one does not occur in layers. They are crystalline in nature. Examples of igneous rock are volcanic rocks, gabbro, obsidian, and granite. Importance of rock. Number 1, they are sites for tourist attraction. Example, Zuma Rock and Olumu Rock in Nigeria. People normally visit those places as a tourist site. They are quarried and used for construction purposes. So, limestone is a very good raw material for making cement. So when these rocks are quarried and used for industrial purposes, that means they are harnessing rock as a mineral. Number 3, they contain minerals. As earlier stated, the mineral constituents of that rock can be mined and harnessed. They constitute source of raw materials for industries. I've mentioned limestone, that is the major raw material for cement factories. They are source of rivers and waterfalls. So we've come to the end of geography SSCE tutorials. So I wish you success in your examination. Thank you.